What if everything you've been told about success is incomplete? From the day we're born, the world begins handing us advice. Work hard, make money, be successful. Others tell us something completely different. Follow your heart, enjoy every moment. Life's too short. And somewhere between responsibility, ambition, and happiness, millions of people spend their lives wondering if they're chasing the right thing. More than 1700 years ago, an Indian philosopher named Vatsyayana asked that very same question. His answer became one of the most powerful ideas in the Kama Sutra. He believed that every human life stands on three pillars. Remove just one, and the entire structure begins to fall. The first pillar is Dharma. Think of Dharma as your inner compass. Imagine you're standing alone at a crossroads. No one is watching. No one will ever know which path you choose. The quiet voice that tells you what's right, that's Dharma. It isn't about fear. It isn't about punishment. It's about becoming the kind of person you can respect when you look in the mirror. Honesty, integrity, compassion, responsibility. Without Dharma, even the greatest success eventually loses its meaning. Then comes the second pillar, Artha. Today, many people believe money is the ultimate goal. Vatsyayana disagreed, but he also believed something just as important. Money isn't the enemy, and poverty isn't a virtue. Artha is about creating stability. It's about learning valuable skills, building a career, supporting your family, creating opportunities, and giving yourself the freedom to live with dignity. Because when your basic needs are constantly under threat, even peace becomes difficult to find. Then comes the third pillar, the one history has misunderstood more than any other, Kama. For centuries, the single word has been reduced to one idea, sex. But that's only a tiny fraction of what Vatsyayana actually meant. To him, Kama was every beautiful experience that reminds us why life is worth living. The warmth of falling in love, the laughter shared with friends, the beauty of music that gives you goosebumps, a breathtaking sunset, a meaningful conversation that changes your perspective forever. The joy of creating art, the comfort of genuine human connection, that is Kama. It isn't pleasure without limits. It's the ability to experience life deeply. But then Vatsyayana reveals a truth that feels just as relevant today as it did 17 centuries ago. Most people destroy their lives, not because they choose the wrong pillar, but because they choose only one. Picture someone who's obsessed with success. Every decision revolves around promotions, investments, and achievements. Years pass, the bank account grows, the house gets bigger, the job title becomes more impressive. But one day, they realize they built a successful career and an empty life. Now imagine the opposite, someone who lives only for pleasure. Every decision is about feeling good right now. No discipline, no planning, no responsibility. For a while, and life feels exciting until temporary happiness slowly becomes permanent regret. And then there's the person who dedicates every moment to duty. Always responsible, always dependable, always sacrificing. Yet they forget something just as important, to laugh, to love, to truly live. According to Vatsyayana, none of these lives are complete. Real fulfillment begins only when all three pillars stand together. Dharma gives you direction, Artha gives you stability, Kama gives you joy. Together, they create a life that's both meaningful and deeply fulfilling. Perhaps that's why this chapter has survived for more than 17 centuries. Because technology changes, empires rise and fall, the world transforms, but human nature remains remarkably the same. And maybe the question isn't, which of these should I choose? Maybe the better question is, how do I keep all three in balance? According to Vatsyayana, the answer to that question, when is the beginning of a life well lived,